What are all your thoughts ahead of this game and the final, and what does it mean to you personally?
Well, it means a lot because I have had experience as a player in winning major trophies, which is always good feeling. Also for the club you play for, and as a manager, it's the same. I had a lot of success with my first team final when we won major prizes, and we have the chance now to win prizes for the Rangers. So I'm very honored to be able to play those finals.
Do you believe that Rangers are favourites in the Europa League Final?
I don't know. I don't think you ever have favorites in finals. They say 50-50 because it can go either way. And but I'm confident we can have a performance to give the best possible possibility to win it. But we play against a good team who played against strong opponents and beat them as well. So two historic teams are playing against each other with a lot of history. So I think it's a very excited final.
Have you been impressed with the way that the players appear to be getting stronger when logic suggests that they might get tired?
Yeah, I think we played really well, and if you see the last months, how many games we played in Europe, also domestically, I think we are maybe the team who played the most games in this season. And we had difficult periods, with a lot of big games just right after each other. The Braga home game and the semi-final against Celtic was a moment like that, and I think also the double header against Leipzig and the Celtic away game. But I think the players did really well, physically but also mentally, and I think we are very strong and in a good position to play the two big games in the end of the week.
Gio, just describe to us how it feels to be so close to a game of this size.
Well, it feels really good. I mean, to reach a final, it's always a good feeling, but I think you will have a better feeling if you win the final, and that's all we have to do. It's we haven't achieved anything yet. We came to the final, and I think we deserve to be in the final. But I also know we have to give another good performance on the night to get the trophy.
How much belief do you have then that this can be a happy ending for Rangers?
Well, I have belief and confidence in my players. They're really focused. They're in a good place physically, also mentally. So everything is there to play well against Frankfurt on next week, and to be part of the history of this club.
How exciting is it for the players? What's the build-up been like? You have domestic games. Is it understandable that their minds may wander to next week?
Well, of course, because after the Leipzig game home, which was I think one of the best nights I've experienced as a player and manager, because we knew we're gonna play the final in Seville. But I think very important to keep going, and that's what we did. The last two games we played against Dundee United and Ross County, we just didn't relax because we need the same intensity, the same desire to play against Frankfurt. So I don't want my players to slip up. Of course, Saturday is a bit different because we're gonna change some players, but I think we're ready for the final. That's all that matters now.
What does this mean to you as the manager who takes this club into a European final?
Well, it means a lot. I mean, there aren't many managers in the history of this club who played a European final. There's only one who actually won it. So, hopefully, first for the club, I think it would be really fantastic to win the second prize in European history.
What does this mean to everyone associated, whether it's staff, fans? I'm sure you've been hearing stories of fans travelling through various continents on various modes of transport to get there. How does it all feel, and what does it mean to everyone involved?
Well, it means a lot, because it's not often you play finals. It's not often you play a final in Europe as a Scottish team. It's very rare it happens. So I'm really honored and proud that we are in the final of Seville and can enjoy this occasion with many fans all around the world. There will be many fans in the stadium. There will be even more fans in the city. So we were representing this beautiful club. We were representing Scotland. So we have to make sure we give a good impression, and that's what we want to do.
Okay, so just go for a question follow-up from now on, Andrew.
Understandably, there has been and there will be a lot of fanfare in the lead up to this game. Is it important that the players and the staff, everyone connected with the club, tries not to get too caught up in that?
Yeah, that's very important. I mean, that's of course, it's a final, and I think it's also good that you feel it's a special game, because if you feel the pressure, it means you're doing really well. And we have to embrace the pressure into something positive. And I think our performances in Europe will give us that confidence. And in the end, in the build-up, we have to concentrate on the game, because that doesn't change in Seville. It's still 11 against 11 with the referee, 1 ball, 2 goals. So, those things will not change. So we can focus on that, focus on our game plan, how we want to play. And prepare well also, not only tactically but also mentally for the game, and I think we will do.
Joe, in terms of Kemar Roof, can you clarify, is he training individually at the moment with the fitness staff, or is he getting involved with the rest of the group?
He's not training with the team at the moment. We are trying to get him on the pitch, hopefully in the weekend, but for him, it's he's doing everything, and I really admire his desire to be ready for the game on Wednesday. And we're pushing hard, but it's one of those injuries where it's a close call, and hopefully he can make some positive steps in the coming days.
You mentioned earlier about Frankfurt. Can you kind of tell us how you view Frankfurt to other teams you've played in this tournament, the likes of Leipzig, Dortmund, totally different?
Well, it's a Bundesliga team, and it's a very strong team, physically good, well organized, very fast in transitions, as we also seen when we played against Dortmund and Leipzig, and they had great results. Also the results they had in Europe will give them also confidence. Beating Barcelona, West Ham, it's a great achievement for them as well. And but they have different players than all the teams we played. The system might be the same, but individually they have different strengths. And so we are watching all the games they played so far. So, and in the end, we're gonna make a plan to try to be victorious against Eintracht.
Ronnie, Joe, how much is this European run made up for the disappointment of losing the title to Celtic?
Well, I mean, it's another competition, but of course, we are disappointed that we didn't win the championship. We have to give credit to Celtic and Ainge, the work they've done and the run they had in the league. So that's top spot. You want to win prizes, and in the end, if you fell short, you have to make sure you bounce back the next season. And so we're here now to make a very positive last week with the European final and the Cup final. And for next season, we're gonna push ourselves hard again to become champions of Scotland. But it's football. You win and you lose, but it's always the case to bounce back when you don't win a prize.
Of course, one more league game to go against the team you're playing in the Scottish Cup final. How do you see that game panning out?
Well, hopefully we'll win, but it's obviously we are getting closer to the final. I wanted the last games we played in the league to get everyone fit and give minutes to be ready for the last week. So for Saturday will be the same. But you can expect some changes with the lineup. Yeah.
Gio, you've won your fair share of finals as a player, but you've also won 4 with Feyenoord, and now you've got 2 with Rangers. Is there something about knockout games that you approach them differently, or is it just about tweaking your team for every opponent?
Well, it's we played. I think the knockout stages we played. I think really well over the 2 games. I always said to my players in the knockout stage, you always have to give yourself a good chance to be in the tie in the second game. And of course, when you play away, And especially with the new rules, with the away goals, if you lose by only one goal, you have every chance to go through. And that's what I said to my players. You could see the difference in approaching games when we play away or home. But, that brought us to the finals. So that's that I'm really pleased with the performances of my players, and also very tactically aware what plan we had, and I'm really pleased with their games they played in Europe.
Because you've been really aggressive at Ibrox. Do you see that as a true identity of your Rangers team? And with the final, even though there's a lot of pressure on it, is it too late to turn back now from that sort of high press and aggressive style?
We have to play in our strength, and it's a final. You always have to find the right balance in your approach to the opponents. But I want my team to enjoy this game and play in their strength, and that's what we're gonna do.
Gio, you've played in lots of different ways to get to this stage, as has been said. You've pressed high at points, you've sat back, you've changed positions, changed things in game. Do you think that helps you when an opposition is trying to do what you're doing, look at your games, see how you've played, because you can attack in different ways and you can defend in different ways?
Yeah, I think we needed that in Europe, especially in Europe, because you play against opponents who also change their systems and approach to games. So sometimes we had to adjust. Sometimes we had to be flexible. I think the game against Dortmund at home was a good example where we had to change our system and set up for 3 times in the game, and brought us the win. So yes, I think you need it, and I'm happy because the players they need to adjust as well in things we ask of them. Sometimes play on different positions, but we're gonna prepare them well for Frankfurt, and I think we should play the same way we always do, with the flexibility to change if necessary and to react if Frankfurt will do things differently. So yeah, it's going to be a very high level game.
Giovanni, that night in Dortmund seemed to spark something off in the team, and it's been noticeable throughout the rounds just how much belief they have. Yeah. Is that sort of confidence, when you see it on the pitch as a manager, how do you channel that to make sure that it doesn't get maybe carried away and they don't go too far?
Of course, if you play against a really strong opponent, and I think Dortmund at that time was the favorite to win the Europa League, and you give a performance like that, you will, I think it's good for your confidence, your belief in your strength as a team. And I think we done that really well. We stayed really humble and respected the opponent, and make sure we did everything we could to win against every team we played, and that's I think that's one of the strengths of this team, and so I'm really happy with that. And then Frankfurt, we will do the same. We don't change our approach. We don't change anything in addressing all the tactics we want to play with the players. The preparation will be the same as all the plays we played before here.
Do you see any similarities between 2017 with Feyenoord, it looked like a mission impossible, and this season in the European way?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's my championship with Feyenoord in 2017. We won the league after 18 years, and I always like to start with a goal. You always have a goal in mind when you start a campaign, and it starts with a dream. And the dream for us with Rangers this year was to win the European League, and that's where we give all our energy in. And if you say before, when I came here, we beat Sparta Prague 2-0, but I didn't think many people will give us a chance to even reach the final. And so it shows you that with the right mentality and spirit, you can overcome every opponent you play against. So that's what we did, and that's what I'm really proud of. And we have one more game to play, and if we win that game, then we're the champions, and that will surely be a dream for all of us.
Giovanni, given the gulf in finances that exists at the moment between Scottish football and teams in Germany, for example, if you and your players are successful in bringing the Europa League trophy back to Glasgow next week, where do you think that achievement would rank in the history, not just Rangers Football Club, but Scottish football?
Well, it will be a huge achievement, and I think that's also the beauty of football, because it doesn't matter how much you spend or what your players are worth. In the end, the chance to win against a team in 90 minutes is always there, and we played against a team who had much bigger budgets and also the better players, but in the end we won those games. So I think it's a huge achievement for us, and it shows that everything is possible in football once you work hard for it and also you have the belief in it.
Gio, obviously with Kemal's situation a bit uncertain, there's players like Fred Morelos, Philip Hollander who've got longevity. What can these guys do for the rest of the group in this?
Well, of course, we have players who cannot play in the Europa League, players who are injured, but in the end we're all together in the building, and Morelos just came back this week from Colombia, so he's here as well to support everyone in his club, and they have a very important influence on the team, and there are only 11 players going on the pitch, and players will come in, but eventually we are there with everyone, and we also take everyone with us to be together and to experience this beautiful occasion as a group, and we do everything to come back to Glasgow with the cup.
You said you fell short to Celtic in the domestic league. What is it about the more demanding competition that brings out the best in your players?
Well, it doesn't have to be. I think your best performances need to be in every competition you play, and that's thing you need in the league. You also need it in Europe or in the cup competition. But I think especially in the domestic league, we dropped too many points. Especially. We lost points in the dying minutes with a set piece. If I rewind, my all the games we played. We played Ross County, conceded after a corner kick in the last minute. 2-0 home against Motherwell. We gave away 2 points. So that a lot of points. You have to have the consistency in the league as well to be the champion, and the consistency. Celtic show was better than us, and that's one thing we have to improve for next year.
Giovanni, the fans' message has been make us dream. In this moment, have you allowed yourself in your quieter moments an opportunity to enjoy it and think about just how momentous this could be for the football club?
Well, I don't have quiet moments the last weeks, months, but no, of course, if you see all the fans, everything you read and see, it's an amazing build up to the final, and make us dream. I said it before, you have to dream of something to really achieve it, because you can work hard and give everything you have to achieve your goal, and that's beautiful, because it's a whole process to eventually lifting up the trophy, and we are well on the way. But you can only win this cup if you win the final, and that's all that matters at the moment.
Gio, there was no place for Alan McGregor in the team in 2008. He sadly missed out through injury. What would it mean, or what do you think it will mean to him to play next week? And do you expect these games to be his final ones as a Rangers player?
Well, I mean, the last time, and I spoke with Alan about it already this week. He missed the final in 2008. He has another chance to play the final in Europe next week, and I'm really happy with him, because he's a very experienced player. You always need a good balance and a good mix between experienced players and talents. I think we have that at the moment. So You know, we're sitting down with all the experienced players after the season, you know, and I think it's important for them to concentrate on the final week, and then we'll see what happens for next year.
Gio, this month will be 50 years since Rangers won in Barcelona in 1972. The club's very fortunate to have so many of that team in and around the club and around the players. Obviously, John Vegg, somebody you know very well. Do you envisage some of these players, older players, coming in and talking to your squad and telling them just how much their lives changed that night in Barcelona and what it would mean to them 50 years on?
Yeah, well, John is telling that story every day, so that's very... But it's no, it's good to have. I love having John Gregg around because he's he's a true legend. And in my first years as a player, we had a really good head of communications then. So it was really nice to have him around. And but I think it's very important also for the players to hear those stories. You know, what the influence on and the experience they had and what it meant for them. So that's very important because this club is all about history, and I also told my players, we have 2 big finals, and of course the final next week in Seville will give my players the chance to be in the history books of these clubs and really get an historic win. So that's and then. The stories they will tell in 10, 20, 30 years will be the same stories that all the players from 72 will tell to my players.
Giovanni, in your playing career, which coaches did you feel were maybe the best at preparing a team psychologically for huge occasions such as this one? What maybe are the key lessons that you've taken into your own coaching career?
My best team I played for?
The coaches you had ahead of games such as this one, which were the best at dealing with the huge occasion, and what lesson have you taken into your own coaching career?
Well, I think I was privileged to train under really good coaches, and I think the final I played with Barcelona in 2006 when we won the Champions League with Frank Rijkaard as a coach. I think his character, his ways working. I think I'm closest to his. In his manners and the way he approached the team. So yeah, I always had a good feeling with him because he used the strength of the team, and he always make us feel that we were special and able to achieve great things. And so with him, I had a really good feeling. Van Gaal, was another coach who, with the Dutch team, we had him, but as a coach in general, he's one of the best. And Dick Advocaat was a coach, I had it with Rangers, also with the Dutch team. So you learn from every coach you had, and I'm still learning. I mean, as a player, I was still learning when I was 34, 35. And as a coach, you never stop learning and in improving yourself and getting new ideas. So it's an ongoing process, and I'm really enjoying it at the moment.
Are you at all disappointed that the game's not being played in a bigger stadium? Where I think it's 40,000 capacity. So many fans of both clubs.
I know,
to get in. And there's bigger stadiums in Seville,
Yeah, I know. It's. I think we could play in a stadium of 300,000 if necessary, but I don't know what the thinking is. Of course, I would love to have a bigger stadium because then more fans can watch the games, but. I don't know. Maybe it's like they want to have like a difference in all the different competition. So you have, Champions League obviously is a big stadium in Paris now. Then you have the Europa League, even Conference League is a smaller stadium. I think they want to keep the difference in level. Maybe that's a question for UEFA, but I really expect a great atmosphere with all the fans we got. I played there before, of course, with Barcelona. We play with Feyenoord also in the Europa League there, and I think it's going to be a very good atmosphere in this stadium.